Jim Sprinkles here with day 26 of my 30 days of world building. Today we're talking about the anti-what ifs, so let's get world building. Today's exercise is much the same as day 12 where we go through the what ifs, but we're looking at the what ifs that don't really fit our world. So what I decided to do is come up with some what if scenarios that would affect the world in such a large way. So let's get right into it. What if people weren't limited to one type of vitality? That was my first what if, and that really changed the whole world. There would be less war, there'd be less divide amongst the Abuan people, and it would cause less conflict in my world, and people might get along a little bit better, because there's none of this huge difference between the types of vitality. There would be no soulless, and therefore my main character couldn't exist. What if the Great Spirit was no more, and it was always winter, and there was no reprieve from it? The world would get colder and harsher and even harder to live in. It would be really hard for life to thrive, and I think the Abuan people, as well as other life, would start to suffer from this change. Or my last what if is, what if there was a great volcanic plume that started to defrost the permafrost on the landmass, and the ice started to disappear? This would actually cause huge problems for the Abuan people and the wildlife. But because the lake is frozen and it is a salt lake, what would happen is they wouldn't be able to use that water anymore. And also the coastlines would change as well because the sea levels would rise. All the ice defrosts. And it would force the people to migrate across those impassable mountains, and who knows what would happen to the Abuan people. But that's day 26 done. Let's move on to day 27 when we start to finalize our plot.